The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door, "only this and nothing more." Ah, distinctly I remember, it was the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books a crease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore.
And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before. So that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. That is it and nothing more." Presently, my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door, darkness there and nothing more."
Deep into darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever had dared to dream before. But the silence wasn't broken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, Leonor. This I whispered, and echo murmured back the word, Leonor. Merely this and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul with the burning. Some again I heard a tapping somewhere, somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely there is something among women lattices. Let me see then what truth it is, and my mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment this mystery explore. This is the wind and nothing more."
Open here I flung the shutter, when, with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obscenence made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mien of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door, perched above a bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, perched and sat and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore, "Though thy crest be shorn and shaven thou," I said, "art sure no craven, ghastly grim, and ancient raven wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me that thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore." Quoth the raven,
"Nevermore."
Much I marveled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door. Bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such name as
"Nevermore."
But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing farther than he uttered, not a feather than he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, "Other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before." Then the bird said,
"Nevermore." Startlingly at the similitude broken by reply so reply spoken. Doubtless, said I. What is it sure that is only stock in the store? Caught for some unhappy master with a merciful disaster. Follow fast and follow faster till his soul one burden roar, till the tears of his hope, the melancholic burden roar, off
"Never, nevermore." But the raven still beguiling all my fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of the bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, ominous bird of yore, meant in croaking nevermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing, to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burn into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my hat at ease reclining, on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated, o'er but whose velvet violet lining, with the lamplight gloating o'er, she shall press, ah, nevermore.
Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee, respite and nepenthe from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff, this kind nepenthe, and forget this lost Lenore, quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempter sent, or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore. Is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore, quoth the raven, nevermore.
Prophet, said I, things of evil, prophet still, the birds or devil, by the heaven that beyond above us, by the God we both adore. Tell the soul we soar, leading it with the distant aid, if that shall clasp a Satan maiden with angel named Leonore, clasp and rare and radiant maiden with angels named Leonore, called the raven, nevermore.
Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked upstarting. Get thee back into the tempest from the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak out of my heart, and take thy form from of my door, quoth the raven.
Nevermore.
And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting, on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him, streaming, throws his shadow on the floor, and my soul, from out the shadow that lies floating on the floor, shall be lifted, nevermore.